All right, so today in class we covered topic 8-3, solving equations with the distributive property. So I'm going to show us two examples that we did in class today, and I want you guys to pay attention because we'll be doing this for your homework. So if we look, we have negative 8 parentheses x plus 0.3 equals 3.6. So the first thing I should notice is I can distribute or give away my negative 8 to each of these groups. And so I'll have negative 8x plus negative 8 times 0.3 equals 3.6. Well, I should know that when I multiply a negative by a positive, I'll get a negative answer, so I know he's going to be negative. And I know that 8 times 3 is equal to 24. When I'm putting in my decimal, I'm going to go back a place value and make it 2.4. If you're not sure how to do that, feel free to look up other videos online or use a calculator to solve. It is not negative 8.3. It is negative 2.4. So this guy gets brought down. Negative 8x minus 2.4 equals 3.6. So now I know that I have to get this guy by himself. Right now it's impossible to do that because I have he's connected to x and he's connected to x. And so in order to figure out what x is I need to get my constant, my other guy who is not connected to my variable, out of the equation. So that would be my negative 2.4. So I'll try to do this in a slightly straighter fashion. So I'm going to bring down my negative 8x because he gets brought down, we're not touching him yet, to do negative 2.4 plus 2.4 equals 3.6 plus 2.4. I know these guys will cancel out. So now I'm bringing this guy back down because I ran out of room. I have negative 8x equals 5 equals 6. Alright, if you look, my x is still not by himself. So the way that I'll solve this, I'll take the reciprocal or the opposite of negative 8 times x and do a negative 8 divided by x to cancel him out. Negative 8. So I have x is equal to 6 over 8. I know I can simplify these two terms to make it be x is equal to 3 over 4. I'll keep my negative, and there is my answer. Alright, so the second piece that we looked at in class today was directly to our right. And so we're going to solve this equation. It was a little trickier than what we experienced in the previous one. Alright, but our distribution property remains the same. So here's how we'll solve. I can distribute my 3/4 into my 8 and my 4. Alright, the reason being is because if you look, my 3/4 is on the outside of the parentheses. Okay, that means he's going to be multiplied into every unlike term. In this case, 8b and negative 4 are not like terms. They are unlike. They do not look the same. Note the b. Alright, and so I have, I'm going to pull it over here a little bit so I have some more room. I have 3/4 times 8b, then plus a 3/4 times a negative 4 equals negative 2. Well, first things first, whenever I'm multiplying a fraction and a whole number, I put an invisible 1 just to make my life a little easier, to make it look a little more like a fraction. So if I look at it, I see that I could cross cancel some guys. So I can get this 4 into the 8 to make him 2. And get that 4 down to a 1 because there's one group of 4 in here and two groups of 4 in here. Same thing here on this guy. 1, 1, I'll keep him negative. So I have my negative 1, I'll bring him over this way to make it a little more obvious. I have my negative 1, and so if I do 3 times 2 equals 6, bring my b down to make it 6b. And then 3 times negative 1, 3 times negative 1, I have a minus 3 equals negative 2. My other guy that's brought down that has not been touched yet. Okay, and so once we get to this point, we should know how to solve. We know that we were trying to get b by itself. The people that are blocking b would be the negative 3 and the 6. We're going to deal with our constant first because he is not attached to the 6. So the opposite of a negative is a positive. That's correct. So I'm going to do positive 3 minus 3. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. They're canceled out. 6b gets brought down. Okay, so I have 6b equals negative 2 plus 3. I can solve for that as well. I know that's going to be a 1, because negative 2 plus 3 is a positive 1. Alright, and my 6b is still not alone. I want to get this guy by himself. This is my second step of my equation, so I'm going to divide 6 out. What I do to one side, I do to the other. He's gone. Now I have b is equal, excuse me, it's a lowercase b, but it's fine, equal to 1 over 6. Alright, that's everything we covered in class today. I know this guy is a little trickier, but if you keep the fraction and just make sure to cross cancel, it's a lot easier to solve. Alright, if you have any questions, please contact me via email or check my website.